You know what would make a really good week in an MSP? One where nothing actually goes wrong. Wouldn't that be just a thing of beauty? Disaster struck in the past week as 2 major cloud outages had MSPs scrambling for their backup plans, only to discover that, well, they didn't have any. Both VoIP and documentation services suffered outages last week as we saw bandwidth deal with a massive denial of service attack, which brought VoIP systems down for, well, much longer than any of us really felt comfortable with. And that was then followed up with an outage at IT Glue, which saw MSPs locked out from accessing passwords needed to access customer systems and provide support, like the actual service that people are paying them for, and that's not awkward at all. But all of these issues, both past, present, and future, present just one single question to those MSPs who just sat tight and just waited for it all to blow over. And that is, what are you doing to ensure your own business continuity? And the answer to that is, of course, to plan. Because as the saying goes, proper planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. For your documentation system like IT Glue, make sure you're taking a regular offline backup, maybe weekly or monthly, that can be stored somewhere completely securely. Now that could be taking an export of all of your clients' passwords, printing them maybe, and storing them in a safe. It could be downloading them and putting them on a USB file and putting that into a safe. Or maybe just storing it in a very securely encrypted format, which you know you can get to in the event of a significant outage. At least that way, you would have the majority of your passwords to continue providing your support. But what if it was your RMM or support tool that had an outage? Well, likewise, think ahead. Either install a second tool which can give you a backup route in. I've done this previously because, well, remote support tools just can be flaky sometimes. Or have a workaround that you can use to manually connect to client systems like TeamViewer, which gets you access by them following a few basic steps to let you in. And this of course extends to all of your services, having a backup internet connection or ensuring your services are accessible to all of your staff remotely. But of course, there are some services where you just simply can't plan for. In the bandwidth example where VoIP services were completely affected. And years ago, I also experienced a similar outage with Gamma here in the UK, where just the whole platform was affected to an extent where even the built-in disaster recovery wasn't working. It wasn't diverting calls to mobiles because the actual platform itself was down. And if you really wanted to prevent this, then you could look at perhaps dual phone numbers, So on your website, you list 2 different numbers to call rather than just the one. Or perhaps you just simply update your website with the new number during the outage, knowing that you have a second kind of VoIP system, at least one you can quickly deploy. Now, in some cases, you will of course just have to sit it out. But the thing here is to at least think and plan and present these options to your clients. Because, well, even if they're sat there feeling helpless, much like you are as an MSP, there are always options. And if a client is losing significant income because of an outage, there is nothing that prevents you from presenting alternative, perhaps short-term solutions that gets them at least running at a basic level for now until that normal service resumes. And I've even been in some of those situations where halfway through implementing those kind of new services, the primary one comes back online again, in which case you can once again just speak to your client and ask if they want you to continue in case it happens again or goes down again. Or you can just pull the rug and revert back to what they had before. Now, the key thing here is to make sure you're protecting yourself with alternative solutions when the services and systems you're using as an MSP aren't available. But more importantly, communicate the options to your clients. I'm sure we're all guilty sometimes of just sitting back when things get taken out of our hands, particularly with large scale outages. I mean, we've literally just had Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram all go down. But what can you do here is be the MSP that you all want to be, that you all should be. Be the one that cares, be the one who goes that step further, who communicates more and better with their clients. Because at the end of the day, customers are going to recognize the MSP who go that little bit further to help them out in desperate times of need than those who just sit on the sidelines and just wait for everything to go back to normal. Subscribe if you found this video useful, like the video down below if you did, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.